We still have 1 minute left. Okay, so we are live. I am not sure how many people are logged in, but if you have any questions, you are going to drop your questions here. I would like to start my presentation in a bit. Um, Whoever is online and logged into my presentation, please uh, just type in the comments. You can hear me. Just let me know if you can hear me by typing yes, you can. Okay, here's my screen share. Okay, so today's topic is happiness and lockdown moods. After my presentation, if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me and we can have a quick Q&A session. To begin with, what is the understanding of happiness today? Happiness by researchers has been defined in two different ways. One of the factors in happiness involves the experience of different emotions or positive emotions to be specific. That is what is defined as or one of the steps of happiness. Um, when we look at happiness, is it the sense of satisfaction, the way we are progressing towards our goals? Is it the joy? Is it just purely contentment? Or is it the interest or affection? Or is it the peace of mind? What is it that you define as happiness? Now, to begin with, there was a study done on happiness, in which concept maps of happiness were asked to be created by two different cultures. One was the American culture and the Russian culture. Now, what is a concept map? Concept map basically means what is it that is most important to you when you are living your life, and what all things branch out of it, what you think is happiness. So, what turned out in the American culture was that the idea of happiness is very concrete in the American culture. It is the family, love, career goals. These are the goals that are all more attainable. When it came to the Russian culture, it was more about spirituality, salvation, peace, beauty, even mutual understanding was one of the reasons people were happy. So, is happiness something that will make us feel good always, or is it something that will make us feel bad or will hurt us as well? Too much happiness is again not good for us. So why research happiness in the first place? What is the need for it? So the happiness is not a negation of unhappiness. Okay, it doesn't invert the feeling of, we are not studying why you are depressed in certain ways. We are trying to put in some positive psychology, meaning why you should make yourself feel good about yourself. What happens when you study happiness? You bring people from negative to a zero or an okay level. It also strengthens your psychological immunity, and it is a part of shifting the pendulum, because there are way too many studies done about negative emotions, the depression, anxiety, all sorts of things. There is an imbalance. So that is why we need to study happiness, what makes people happy, why you should study positive things and try to understand individually what makes them happy. It also is about building good qualities about yourself. Can happiness really hurt us? This is another question that comes to our minds. Too much happiness makes you less creative and less safe. So then if you're happy all the time, it's also not healthy for you. There has to be some sort of a balance between the negative and the positive emotions and experiences. Happiness is not suited for every situation. For example, if you are um, not exactly, in the right place, for example funeral or something, then it might be perceived a little differently, because different kinds of emotions help you adapt to different situations. For example, anger helps you take over certain hurdles. Your empathy level increases. All these things are connected with the negative emotions as well. So only happiness is not always going to help you out. Not all types of happiness are good for you. There are certain kinds of happiness like pride. A pride with a false notion is also not healthy for you. And pursuing happiness may actually make you unhappy, because if it is out of your reach, you need to establish your own boundaries. So, how do we find healthy happiness is $1 million question right now. What is it that will be considered happiness for you? There might be a lot of quotes that might be thrown across to you, in the hope you will read a lot of books that will, give you a lot of different ideas, opposing views. Happiness is not an ideal for of reason, but of imagination. So, how do you interpret all these quotes that are thrown at you? The bottom line ends up being that true happiness is only when you are fostering kindness towards others and towards yourself. That is what it means, happiness means to you. What does it mean to you? Please write and share your comments below. I'm going to stop sharing.